Hello everyone, it's Lel, and it's time to talk about episode titles for May from Wonderful PreCure. If you were expecting a new Cure debut this month, it feels like it's not gonna happen. So let's check out the titles. First of all, thank you Hibiki for translating the titles for us. Let's check them out. I feel like this is going to be a very interesting month nonetheless, so let's go. So the first episode that we're gonna have this month is episode 14, which is called Mayu's First Sleepover. We've already seen this episode in the preview. We already know that in this episode, Yuki, Mayu's cat, will fall ill and she will take Yuki to Iroha's house or Iroha's family vet, and there they will treat Yuki and she will stay at Iroha's house. So this is basically the plot of episode 14. The episode 15's plot seems to be a very, very interesting one. And apart from the title, we also have a little summary for it. So episode 15 is called A Day with Mei the Sheep Butler. And in this episode, we are gonna have Iroha and the others visiting Nico Garden. But they will take Mayu with her or with them. So we don't know if Yuki will go, but we do know that Iroha, Komugi, probably Satoru will go, and then Mayu will also go. In this episode, we're gonna see Mayu helping Mei looking after the kid-eating animals, and he also shows her around the garden. But the kid-eating animals are going to be hiding something from them. This is basically what we have from episode 15, but there are lots of interesting things to pay attention to in this because, well, it's clear that in episode 15 or maybe even in 14, Mayu will discover the secret of Wonderful PreCure. She will probably discover that the girls are cures. She will probably discover that Komugi, dog Komugi is also human Komugi. She will probably discover it all, and the girls will take her to Nico Garden. I think this is going to be a super interesting episode, especially with the presence of our king, Mei. I miss him, and I'm very glad that he's going to have a bigger role, getting back to other episodes that he was super relevant. Now checking out the other titles, we just have the titles, we don't have the summaries or any more details on them yet. We will in a few days. So episode 16, which is gonna air May 18, is called The Mystery of the Mirror Stone. This episode will probably focus on this stone that appeared a lot at the start of the series and is appearing again now with the advent of Yuki, because Yuki has been very mysterious in her appearances, and I feel like obviously the Mirror Stone has a lot to do with it. So Yuki's appearance as human Yuki and also her appearance as Kirinyami has a lot to do with the Mirror Stone and what the Mirror Stone let her do it, like what wish the Mirror Stone fulfilled for her. So I am super hyped for the secret of the Mirror Stone. I feel like when Wonderful PreCure gets to the lore, it is always super interesting. So I feel like this is not going to be any exception. This can explain a lot of what's going on and what's actually happening in the story. So very curious. And the last episode from May, which is episode 17 and is gonna air May 25, is called simply I Will Protect You. So one of the things that this month does not seem to have, at least in the titles, is Kirinyami. So my belief is that episode 17 is related to Nyami's goal and wish of protecting Mayu. And this will probably come into play again in this episode. She will probably fight to protect Mayu again in this episode. And I feel like there is a huge possibility of this triggering in Mayu the wish to fight or to at least transform alongside Yuki so that she can become Cure Lillian. We already know that Cure Lillian exists, but we don't know when she will arrive. My guess is that it's going to be just like Cure Butterfly from Hirogaru Sky, and she will arrive in episode 18. I find it very hard for her to arrive in any of the episodes from this month because there is no episode with her name in it. Usually when a cure appears for the first time, we see her name in the title. So I don't believe that Lillian will arrive, and I also don't believe that Nyami will join the team in May either. This is mostly because of this right here. This is the cover of Wonderful PreCure, the original soundtrack, volume 1, and this is coming out May 29. What it means is that we only have Wonderful and Friendly in the cover, and usually those covers, they only show the cures that are part of the team already when the album gets released. So having Wonderful and Friendly only means that at least until May 29, we will have only Wonderful and Friendly in the main team of Wonderful PreCure, and probably Lillian and Nyami will join later than this date. This is obviously one way of interpreting this, one way of reading into the cover of the album. This might not be definite, and they might, not Lillian, but Nyami might join earlier, and she's just not in the cover, right? I mean, they can do whatever they want, and they can change the patterns that they already have in place for the PreCure franchise and do something different. But I believe that neither Lillian nor Nyami are going to join the team in May. Lillian because we don't have her name in the title, and Nyami because she is not in the cover of the album either. But the fact is, we are very close to Nyami's and Lillian's joining. I don't know how to say that. I mean, we're probably close to their debuts, to their actual debuts in the Wonderful PreCure team. I say actual because, I mean, we've already seen Cure Nyami, being a very big diva in the show. But apart from that, we haven't seen her transforming. We don't have her actually joining the team, so we don't know when that will actually happen. And judging by the titles, we don't have any title focused on Nyami joining or anything like that. I'm hyped and I'm very curious, but I feel like the one thing that makes me most excited for this month in Wonderful is the fact that we are going to learn more about the Mirror Stone. It is something I feel like is going to make the story of the season even more interesting than it already is. And it's going to spark a lot of theories. It's going to make us even more intertwined with the story of Nico Garden, with the story of Animal Town, with probably the story of Nico-sama as well. And this makes me even more curious for the future of Wonderful PreCure. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. Which episode are you most excited for in May for Wonderful PreCure? Anyways, this is it. Want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member here on YouTube, if you are a member on Patreon, if you support me on Throne, thank you very, 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 very much. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.